Massy here, coach, strategist and author, and welcome to my monthly edition of Tips, Tools and Strategies, which is part of my newsletter. And if you're not signed up for my newsletter, just duck over to calmness.com and sign up there and you get a free audiobook download. I talked last month about continuing with the theme around decision making. I was saying that was one of the most important things that I can teach people, that I teach my coaching clients, because the decisions we make have a huge impact on not only our daily life, but our ultimate destiny. Choices we make today are going to influence downstream. So we need to make sure we make the best choices. And therefore, if we improve the quality of the decision making that we do, we essentially improve the quality of our life. Now, I wrote this book, Decision Making Mastery, that's available in lots of different places. And if you don't have any cash, just send us an email and I'll send you a free copy. But as I went into this book and as I went deeper into it, looking at the things, I talk about the importance of taking care of the physical things so you're prepared to make decision making at the level you need to make. You need to make sure you're not hungry, thirsty, tired, so take care of those things. The next most important thing to do is you need to be in a state of calm. I like the triune brain, model you would call it. And it looks at breaking the brain into three different parts. Not so much the anatomical looking thing, but the upper brain, the midbrain, the lower brain. And anatomically, they're different configurations and said to be more evolved as we get higher into the brain thing. So the lower brain is generally called the mammalian brain. No, I've got that wrong. The lower brain is called the reptilian, midbrain mammalian, and then upper brain, modern brain, the neocortex, the frontal cortex, frontal lobes, all of that sort of stuff. So one of the things with decision making, if we are in a survival emotional state, if we're angry, annoyed, frustrated, fearful, jealous, whatever those emotions are that trigger us, what they do is they trigger us and they take us into sort of the midbrain, lower brain, where we only have a choice of fight, flight, or freeze if we get into the reptilian part of the brain. So what happens is in a decision making, if I'm not in a elevated emotional state, if I'm in one of these survival emotional states, I've only got access to three choices. I can either run away from things, I can either pretend no one can see me, or I need to biff on. And that doesn't solve some of the bigger problems, the more complex problems, the problems that are going to influence things downstream that had much greater consequences. So what we need to do when it comes to decision making is ensure that before we make high value decisions, things that have big consequences, it might be a relationship thing, it might be, whether to stay or whether to leave, or whether to deal with a particular problem and how to deal with a particular problem in that relationship. It might be a work thing, it might be a health thing. There might be some health issue going on. Rather than just stumbling into the first thing the first doctor tells you, it might be you need to step back and see the bigger picture. The challenge when we go into middle lower brain is we come into tunnel vision. So we actually can't see the bigger picture. We can't contextualize truly and see all the pieces. So the message is this, the strategy is this, the tip is this, the tool is this. When it comes to important decisions, make sure that you're in a calm state of mind. Now, if that means you need to duck off to the east coast of Bali to hang out on the east coast there, to drop into your Zen or up into the mountains, so you've got no distraction, you've got Mother Nature surrounding you, then that's what you need to do. You make your best decisions when you're in an elevated emotional state, and calm is probably the best way that I can describe that for you to understand. So when you're in a calm, peaceful state, that is the ideal state to make the most important decisions. So that is the tip, tool, or strategy. Do not make important decisions unless you're in a calm state of mind. And in a calm state of mind, you have access to that upper cortex there, the prefrontal lobes, the smarter part of the brain that sees all of things, can provide context and good solutions to things. So that's important. Calm before you make important decisions. That's a tip, that's a tool, that's a strategy. Put it into play now. Other than that, wherever you are on this beautiful, gorgeous, incredible planet of ours, have an absolutely fantastic day and take care.